Hey everyone, this is Nick from Mecha Warehouse, and today we're back with weekly update number 100. I'm sorry, we don't have anything really special planned for this weekly update. Being that it's 100, kind of wish we did. Things have just been so crazy that any thought of trying to plan something special has been out of the question. Maybe for 104, which I think will be like essentially the 2-year anniversary, we'll have something special, but we'll just see, I guess. But with that said, let's kick things off with Week in Review. This is where we talk about what's been going on, things that are coming up and stuff like that. And I guess first off, you'll notice that we're in a different kind of part of the warehouse right now. We condensed a lot of the pallets down this whole row behind me here, all the backup stock to make some more room. We shrunk some of the aisles, and so there's no longer room to fit the table in there to film the way we have been. And now it's set up like this. So that is what it is. It's been overall, though, a really chaotic week, 2 weeks. I don't even know. I've kind of lost a little bit of that sense of time because I feel like I've been going nonstop for a while now. We shot the last weekly update on last Wednesday, so we got a little bit longer to cover. First up is the RG God Gundam and just the whole fiasco that went along with receiving those. They were supposed to arrive on Friday, and we only really found out about them, I think, after we shot the last weekly update. I'd asked, why is everybody else getting their RG God Gundams? What's going on? Ours haven't even shipped yet. And the response to that was, oh, they did ship a while ago. Here's the tracking number. And we found out that they were pretty close and on their way, which is cool that our big batch was coming. Not as cool that we found out about it like a day before it was supposed to arrive. Fast forward to the day it was supposed to arrive, and we found out it wasn't arriving on time, and that was a total pain in the butt. The reason they didn't arrive on time is apparently they were shipped without a complete address. They were just shipped to Concord, New Hampshire, not to our 38 Lock Road address here. And as the FedEx person I talked to for FedEx Freight, Concord's kind of a big place. It's, you know, a city. It's not like a small place. It's not like, oh, it's just going to the town and it's there. So it took us the extra day to get the address updated so they could get it out to us on Monday. So Monday rolls around, they show up, and we got our 3 pallets of God Gundams and then 7 other pallets of other stuff. If you saw our promo video earlier in the week when we were talking about, hey, the God Gundams are about to go up, it's, I think, our largest shipment that we've ever received at one time ever. I think it was actually multiple shipments arriving at the same time, but it's our largest single day receive of pallets that I'm aware of or remember. And so that was kind of crazy. I spent all day Monday checking the God Gundams in to be ready to post them up on Tuesday and get our pre-orders going, which was really cool. And those are now up on the website. You can buy your God Gundam from us. The pre-orders, as of when I'm filming this, are still being shipped, and part of that is due to another issue that I'll talk to in a moment. But I want to go back over the weekend because the God Gundams hadn't arrived yet on Friday. I came in Saturday morning. We had a belt test at the dojo for some of our students. Came in the afternoon with Kate and the kids, and we worked on checking in our huge Dspiae shipment, which is up for restock this week. So that basically, my Saturday was a full day because I started at the dojo at 10, and I think we left here at like 7 p.m. Came home, ate, did the live stream. Sunday, Santana and I went to PATCON. That's an IPMS event down in Hudson, Mass. It was a great show. Met some great people. We got some great interviews. We should have a vlog coming out relatively soon with, you know, some of the stuff that we saw and the experience in general. There were 3 Gundam categories at this show, which was really cool. I placed second in the 1/144 and smaller category with my Dom R35, which I'm really happy about. My first time placing at an IPMS event that wasn't like the, I don't know I forget what it was called, but the one out in Chicopee was the category. Everybody got a medal or didn't get a medal based on the merits of their own build, and it wasn't the same first, second, and third like this one was. So this felt pretty good, and the build I lost to was absolutely incredible. There's like no way, like I'm completely different planes of existence from that build, and that builder. We actually got an interview with him, and I think he placed first in 2 out of the 3 categories and second in the 3rd. So very solid builder all around. So that was my Sunday. So I've been go. Came in Monday, dealing with the God Gundams arriving and all that stuff like I was talking about. The God Gundam pre-orders, there were over 300 God Gundam pre-orders getting added to the queue. So the second they arrived and were ready to go, we kind of hit a point where all of our existing orders, everything's in the queue, and so we had a ton of orders to work through. We've been trying to run the packing stations at full capacity. Tuesday was a good day for shipping orders. We packed probably our largest number in a single day ever on Tuesday because a lot of those pre-orders were just a single kit made for easy orders to ship. Yesterday though, Wednesday, ended up being a super interesting day. So I anticipated early on Monday that we would run out of boxes for that 14-10-6 size that we use for that kind of kit. And as a result, I placed an order with our box supplier. We just ordered a skid of those boxes. It's a little more than I normally get, but I knew it would wipe out what we had and would probably go through a lot more because a lot of people are gonna be ordering those God Gundams. For the first time in nearly ever, maybe one other time, it didn't ship the day that we placed the order. Almost always, I place an order at like 3. I realize I forget something, call them up at like 3:20 or something and ask them if they can add something to the order, and they tell me it's already been shipped. So they're beating our shipping times usually. And it didn't ship until the following day on Tuesday, which is fine. We knew we had enough boxes to get through Tuesday and then arrive on Wednesday. Well, apparently they arrived at XPO, the freight carrier that at least does the final leg of the delivery, the local hub, too late to get on the truck, so they didn't arrive on Wednesday. So we ran out of boxes for the first time ever because 2 separate problems that very rarely happened at the same time, which meant that we only were able to run 1 packing station for part of the day rather than 2 for the full day, because we didn't bother running 2 packing stations until the boxes came, was kind of the plan. We had somebody out, I was gonna fill in, stuff like that. So the good news is that gave us time to work on preparing for the restock, getting some more stuff checked in than we probably would have, and getting ahead on that stuff. The bad news is we weren't able to ship as many orders yesterday as we would like, and as of right now, Thursday morning, the box shipment still hasn't arrived. When I talked to XPO, they said they would try to get it first thing in the morning for us. Fingers crossed it arrives before we would really normally start our packing day, or at least soon after, so we can get a full or full-ish day of packing in today and try to get caught up. Because I'm pretty sure with the Dspiae restock and the God Gundams in stock, we're gonna have a very busy weekend in terms of orders. So that's basically been my week. That's probably the longest part I've talked about week in review nearly in forever. It's just been absolutely crazy. I've been go. I'll probably be coming in Saturday to do more check-in to try to get caught up on that stuff. And I need a break. I probably sound excited right now because I'm super caffeinated to get going, and by mid-afternoon, I'm sure I'm gonna crash. It's gonna be great. 2 other quick things before we move on. Number 1, hiring update. We've, I think, started reaching out to candidates for that part-time videographer, editor, media, whatever you wanna call it, position for phone screens and the like. We're still taking applications, so if you're interested, I'd love to have somebody who's in the hobby for that position, just because it makes a lot of things easier, and that experience with the hobby will help in a lot of ways. And most of our applicants are coming from outside of the hobby so far, but it is a in-person position, so we can't have someone remote. Santana's going remote because of her situation right now for a part-time or whatever, so we need that part-time person here to be able to film things, etc. But please apply if you're interested, and do so sooner rather than later. We're going to try to move this process along as fast as we can, as long as we get the right candidate. And then finally, we put up a video on Tuesday, which is the Q3 confirmations video. And it sounds kind of funny because it's July, August, and September, and it's clearly late September. Remember, those are production months, not when we necessarily get them delivered. But if you're interested in that, we got the full list up there, and pictures of everything and stuff like that. So definitely check that out. We posted no pre-orders this week because we're totally slammed. So let's move straight on to restocks. All right, restocks. So just a quick preface here. Some of these probably came in great numbers, most of them probably, but there might be items that didn't and will sell out relatively quick. So if you really need any of these, you might want to check out the site sooner than later. First up, HG Narrative Gundam Apex. Nice big kit. This one's interesting as it's got all the the extra armor. Maybe there's a, I think it is relatively large because of all that extra stuff that goes with it. Kind of an interesting build right there. I don't think we've had those since the Attic days, so it's been a little while. HG Gundam Mark II Titans, got the AUG in stock as well, I believe. Gyaradoga, I think there's two different Gyaradogas that we have. This is the blue one. Kind of cool colors here on that one. And then we also have the green one. And I wish I remembered off the top of my head what's the different pilot or why they're different colors, but I don't remember right now. But we got both of those. I think it's basically the same kit. I'm not sure if there's much else different. They're definitely sequential in their numbers. Got the Narrative Gundam C-Packs. This is the more simple of the Narrative Gundam variants. I think we've had this one more recently than the other one. Full armor destroy mode. So if you like the unicorn and you like high grades as your kit of choice, this would be a good one. I think that's it for UC. We've got the Miles Byakuchi FGE color. Interestingly, I think this one is a P Bandai kit in Japan for whatever reason. Regular release here. So if you like the Byakuchi and you like the color scheme, it might be worth checking out. That green and brown is kind of cool. Two HG IBO kits, the Hyakuren, that one just came in, as well as the Hijiro Boshi. I think it's one of the relatively newer ones. Kind of a cool design in my opinion. We also got 4 age kits in for this week. The Adele, which looks almost like a gym, but age. Also, this one does too, the Shell Doll Custom. I've never seen age, but this design has me potentially interested in snagging one myself. Farzia has almost like a Jinx kind of vibe, very sleek design. And the GXs, which also kind of has a really cool design to it. I just saw that for the first time, and I think I might need one of those too. Pretty cool. And then finally, the Lancelot Albion. I'm not sure what this is for code. GS, actually. So, rather large, high grade 1/35th scale, I think. So that's it for high grades. All right, master grades. The master grade Dspiae Hell, we've had these in stock. We've got a whole bunch more, so we should have them in stock for a good long time, but it's an excellent kit, so if you've been on the fence about getting one, I would highly recommend it. We got the master grade Camphor. I very fondly remember stacking these in the attic. I don't think we've had them since, and I don't think they're gonna last super long, so if you want one, I'd grab them really quick. Master grade Freedom definitely has been in recently. I haven't built it. I think it's a solid kit though from what I hear. I think there's maybe a hip issue. Gundam Age 1 Normal. Not much else to say about that one. I haven't built that one. Master grade Death Scythe. I have built this one, like the Death Scythe Hell. An absolutely solid kit, and I really enjoyed it. We got 2 real grades as well this week. We got the RG Char's Zaku 2 and the RG Zeta, which I think we haven't had in a little while, so check those out. Next up, some other miscellany here. First up, Grogu, just got these in. The pre-orders for these will hopefully be ready to start going out and get thrown into the pre-order mix that's shipping right now. I think they just announced the next season of that show, or drop the trailer or something. Kamen Rider Double Fang Joker. I don't know anything about Kamen Rider, so we got that kit now. 30-minute missions. We got Option Weapon 1 for Alto and for Port Nova. I don't think I've seen these ones in a while. And we also got the Forestieri 01, which is a new release that I think this is our first time getting in. Also have 4 Pokemon kits restocking. I think some of these we've had in stock recently and some are new, including the Owlet here, or Rowlet, Brindibo. We got those in. Those pre-orders will be shipping soon too. We got Mew. I think we've had Mew, and we definitely have had the Pikachu Battle Pose in stock. But the other new one is Charmander. So if you want to grab it, now is the time. And I think we got one more set to go through. Last up for kits in this restock, we've got our first shipment of Volks ever. So this is primarily 5-star stories. I'm not going to pick up each kit because I don't really know anything about 5-star stories or that much about the kits. They seem to have 1/100 scale of a lot of kits. There's definitely different variants of some of the same. Some interesting designs in here. I definitely recommend checking them out, even if you haven't seen any of the source material, because some of these, as I was picking up, definitely had me a little bit interested. There's also 1/144 scale kits of some of the same designs. I don't know if they're different in like the high grade versus master grade from Bandai, but they definitely some cool looking designs in that batch. There's also, we got 3 kits from the Fiora line. I think they're supposed to be like Pixies or something, or I don't know. Definitely, if you're into the Mecha Girl type kits, those are probably worth checking out. And then we also got this Ava Prime from the Nexate line, which I hear is kind of similar to 30-minute missions, although it is very much an Ava kit with maybe different proportions than you're usually used to for an Ava design. But all those might be interested. I'll hold them up and talk about each one, except I'm just going to say I don't know anything about them. And next up, let's talk about Dspiae. All right, last up, Dspiae. So we got a ton of Dspiae stuff in. What's on the table here represents a small portion we got in, lots of restocks of things we've had before, and a ton of new stuff, like a lot. So we'll go through all these things. Keep in mind there might be other things that are not on here. So if you're into Dspiae tools, if there's one that you're looking for, you definitely want to go check out that collection or check out the restock collection and see what we got in, because there's a lot. ATHV, this is a new one. This is the hand vise, which I think is different in that it's got that little handle. So if you want to hold something in your hand that may be awkward to hold, I think that is the main intent, but it does have a base so you could put it down and use it kind of like a regular vise. There is the ATHS Precision Hand Stabilizer. I don't know if it's got any images on how it's supposed to be used, but I believe the idea is that this rod can be used to stabilize your hand. I think you'd rest your hand on the round part and use this rod as something to hold, like say a paintbrush up against, and use it to stabilize for small precision work. There's also the ATSV, which is the omnidirectional spherical vise. So kind of like the regular vise, but with a more range of travel, I believe. Really large head with lots of options for holding different things. This is definitely beefy, really heavy. Great if you've got stuff that you don't want, falling over while you're working on it. We got, let's go to this. This is restocking the regular vise. I've got one of these, great for doing decals or anything where you need a part held. Got the color test cards. So these are interesting. I think they have there's no image there, maybe a little bit. So basically the intent is that it's a little card that you can do your color test on and catalog. I think they have like a ring hole in them, so you can make a ring of essentially your own paint chips. And it's got a white and a black section, so you can just spray once over it and then kind of see what your color looks like over a black base or a white base. And great for kind of keeping paint chips of maybe your color mixes or the colors that you use frequently, rather than having to paint a spoon each time or whatever, and be really organized with it. STA 3.0, so the Dspiae 3.0 nippers, these are the ones that are super popular, very comparable to God Hand, but significantly less expensive. I'd highly recommend those. These new flexible sanding board sets, FSS01 and SO2. So I think these are supposed to be somewhere between a sponge and like an actual hard board, a little bit more flexible or a little bit less flexible maybe. I'm not totally sure until I get my hands on them specifically, but might be worth checking out if you're looking for different options for sanding. Got restocks on the magnetic paint mixers. So if you need a good option to mix your paint, we also got the metal rods in stock as well that you would need for those. Whoops. We got the new Pro Moisture with what are they called? Moisturizing color mix box. So this is basically, I think, a wet palette, but a fancier wet palette, like a pro level wet palette compared to the regular one that they offer that we did get in stock as well. I've used that one, it's decent. Super Corgi butts. We got several colors of these. I believe the idea was that it's better than a spoon for testing colors over curved surfaces because they've got kind of, I don't know, a roundness to them, I guess. I kind of don't get it myself, but these might be pretty popular, I think. We got them in. Got a new siren file. This is the SF20 Superfine Buffing. This is, I think, kind of similar to the SF15, but perhaps larger. I haven't looked at all the details on it, but they should hopefully be on the website. They've got several new cutting mats for masking tape, very similar to the Infinity ones, although I think they're less expensive. These are just two. I think there's two others as well, but they give you these kind of shapes to cut tape in various ways, which is great if you're trying to mask out very specific areas and need a way to get the tape cut just right. Also saw a variety of new storage containers. We got all the old ones back in stock. They have several new nipper cases. The Dspiae 3.0s, I believe, are shipping in one of these now, basically. I think it's a red and black one, which I think is this one. You can't really see it through the packaging super well. But if you want one in other colors, there are other options, or if you want one for maybe a pair of nippers you bought previously. There are also two new regular storage boxes, box M1. These are modular. So this is kind of like the multi-section one, but they have like a rail and groove, I guess, on various sides to be able to connect them and organize them any way you want in a modular fashion. And there's also these 36 grid storage boxes. I'm kind of excited about these. They're basically, you can find this kind of thing all over the place, right? You can get one at your local hobby store or craft store or Walmart or wherever. But this one's from Dspiae. It's a 36 box. I think they have subdividers to be able to change the size of some of the units inside. And now you can grab one while you're grabbing your other stuff. And like I said, there is a ton of other Dspiae stuff, some glues, epoxies, and other stuff. Definitely worth checking out. We'd be at it all day if we were to talk about everything that came in. Okay, those are the restocks. Like I said, some of those things are probably, got really, really good quantities on. Some things, not as much, but definitely jump on that stuff. And keep in mind, it might be delayed in when we can ship them, depending on how much we catch up over the next day or so. All right, finally, let's do Q&A. So this is the part of the video where I answer questions from you, the viewers. If you have a question you want answered, please post it down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer it next week. First up, from Plastic Germs, in your personal opinion, what is the hobby tool that you feel is unnecessary in the line that you don't need it to accomplish putting a model kit together, but if you have the money, do you? Okay, so this one, I'd say any of the high-end nippers, because you can get away with a cheaper set of nippers or hobby knife or something like that. So in theory, it's unnecessary. It's kind of a core tool that we all really need and really use for the most part, but it is unnecessary. I mean, anything beyond that is totally unnecessary because you don't need to, say, scribe panel lines or cut fancy masking tape, or any of those kind of tools are all clearly unnecessary as well in order to assemble a model kit, if that makes sense. Fun question, why does breakfast taste good for dinner? I have no idea, but it's true. It's definitely true. Waffles or pancakes or French toast for dinner. I don't know, maybe it's because of the maple syrup. I feel like breakfast tends to be a more sugar-laced, laden meal compared to some of the other ones, and it's almost like quasi-dessert. Okay, next up, I got one other question this week from 808 Johnster. Hi Nick, just a thought, why not have a weekly item sale? Might give some time for people on the fence of getting it or trying to get the money for this sale item. It's a great idea. We were playing last week. We did a few daily deals. Doing a weekly deal might be another way of doing that kind of thing. We haven't done any of that this week because things have just been chaos and we're trying to get caught up before we worry about that kind of stuff. But we'll probably continue to experiment with some of these ideas as the days and weeks ahead go on. So that's it for questions. Thank you. Like I said, if you've got a question you want answered, post it down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer it next time. Thank you for watching. See you next time.